All right, so one of my members sent me this store. They wanted me to do a review of it. Now, this is not the person who owns it. It's not their store. It was somebody found this store and they wanted me to do like what I thought of it. So I figured I'd shoot a quick video for YouTube and give you my thoughts. So first of all, 28,215 sales. That's awesome. That's a lot. 1,846 items listed. That's amazing. That's a ton of work that has been put into this store. Like so much work. That's a crazy level. Look at the average item review, like tons of reviews. So this, on the surface, it's like started in 2020. It's like this is a really good store. This is amazing. Like there's the owner, there's the designer, there's a dispatcher, I guess. Very cool. So I don't know if they're doing their own or if they're using print on demand. I'm trying to see if there's any. Oh, maybe they are doing them on their own. Okay. And now, if they're doing them on their own, then the numbers will be a little bit different than what I think they would be for in the print on demand world. But this is awesome. So, like, congrats to the seller. That's amazing. So now I'm going to go through this and just show you some things that if you're considering opening up a t-shirt store on Etsy, I want you to think of these things before you do it. And I'm just going to use this as an example. Don't copy any of our stuff because that's not cool. But here we go. So let's analyze the shop. What I'm looking for is how old it is. And it is basically 20 months old. So that's pretty good. And it looks like they started in a different category possibly, or I don't know if that's coming up guitar picks. Maybe that's coming up from their shop. I'm not sure. Why that kind of doesn't really fit in with the rest. Oh, 43 months. So maybe that's a fluke on Everbee's part. 43-month-old listing on a 20-month-old shop. Okay, we're gonna ignore that. Here's all the shirts, and what we can do here too is go look at all the listings. Then we'll see which one is doing the best. So let's scroll back over to the left. Total sales. There we go. So this one is doing really well, which is Kissbora Girls. That's cool. Nice. $14.91 is the price. Sale ends, which is wonderful. So they're running 24-hour sale. New markdown. That's fine. And lots of reviews. Lots of good ones. All good. Pictures. So yeah, so this would be an example of a successful Etsy shop in my mind. So I'm going to analyze it. Well, first I'm going to look at the size because I know they show the smallest size. Let's say somebody buys a medium instead. So now you're up to $20.48. And then down here we can see shipping is $6.38. Now maybe they are making all these on their own. I'm not sure. If this is even a print-on-demand shop. If it were a print-on-demand shop, we can analyze the listing and go through some numbers here. So the number 20.48 shipping price is they're doing, what was it, $6.38, I think. And I think this is more around the $11 range for cost of goods sold. And then $4.50 is pretty accurate for the order. So let's hit that. Then we're coming up to about $8.35 profit, which is a 31% net profit margin, which is actually not bad. You can see the Etsy fee is 20 cents, transaction fee $1.75, payment processing fee $1.06, total fee is $3, $11,515. Okay, so that is $8.35, which is decent. 31% profit margin is decent. But let's go down, just make sure I got that shipping right. Yeah, $6.38, so that's fine. Oh, I'm in Canadian too, which is different. So let me shift that back. Go down here, go to US dollars. There we go. Okay, that's better. Yeah, because when I was comparing two completely different. So let's say medium is 1434. Okay, this is going to change it a little bit. Let's go to analyze listing here. And 1434 there. And then the shipping price is what in US? 447. Okay. So let's go back there. So 1434 and 437. I was wondering why that was a little bit higher than I expected. So let's go 14. And then 4. There we go. And I think the cost of my, it's around 11, unless you're on the premium. And the shipping is pretty accurate. Well, let's even say it's 10. And let's say, obviously, the shipping is going to, let's even just blank out the shipping here. See what happens. So let's do calculate. Now the revenue is $14.34. That's after a discount. Shipping price $4.37. So that's $18.71. 20-cent listing fee, $1.22 transaction 81. Total fees $2.23. $10 cost of goods sold. Now that's assuming it's print on demand. If they're printing that out of their garage, they have a different cost of goods sold, but they actually have a labor cost too, which I would venture actually puts cost of goods sold. If you put labor into it too, it's actually going to be more than $10. Shipping, $4.37. So total is there. So it's 18 minus 16, $2.11, 11.28 profit margin. So I'm just going to take a quick screenshot of this because I want to show you something here. Let's move that over. So now, $2. Okay, so per sale. And now I picked like a medium, but it could be a large. It's like $2.11. So now you have that 28,000. Pull that back. I'm just going to get the dollars per day here. So 28215 divided by 20 months is 1,400. We'll call it 1411 sales per month on average. Which is per day equal to 47 per day. Which is 47 times 2.11. About $99.17 per day. Now that, again, I'm assuming this is print on demand. If it isn't, then this is going to be a little bit different, but I would imagine it's not going to be that much different at all. Decent, right? Not too bad. That's about 3,000 profit per month, which is good. Now she does have listings. There are 1,846 listings. So the thing that really gets you is listing fees. Listing, relisting, sales, every sale. So relisting on Etsy is this. Every 4 months, 20 cents, sale or not. So what that means is 1,846 times 0.2 dollars. Every 4 months, they are going to pay 1,846 times 0.2, $369.20. Let's move that over. Months, so multiply that by 3, and that's your yearly relisting fees. This is just if this is kind of the hidden fee of Etsy that they never really show you. So you're paying $1,107.60 per year. Let's say you didn't make a sale at all on anything, just with that amount of listings, that's per year. That's what you paid Etsy. So for everybody who thinks Etsy's free, they are not free. And then divided by 12, basically $92.30 per month you're paying to Etsy on average with 1,846 listings per month. Now, let's compare that. So Is Etsy free? No, they're not. Do you get a good return? Not really. 11 point, what was it? 11.28%, I think. Let's go back here. So I'm gonna pre-fill it again. Yeah. Let's get rid of that. Pull up my screenshot, which is 11.28% net profit margin. That's not the best. If you even double that for the same amount of work, you're going to be doing a little bit better. This doesn't even take into account running ads on Etsy, because the thing with Etsy is, I'm just going to do it here. The problems. Relisting fees. Add up quick on big stores. Okay, that's the number one problem. I'm going to make this bigger. Second thing is 11% profit margin is very low. Like, you're doing a lot of work for not very much return at all. And if she has herself and 2 employees at $3,000 a month, I don't know how they're doing it, to be honest. There's got to be something else going on. But the biggest problem is this. You cannot get your customer emails, which means you cannot do any email marketing to your customers, because Etsy cut that off. So it used to be you could connect Aweber to Etsy, and then you could get your customers onto your Aweber list, and you could run sales and all that good stuff on your own. Now you can't, because Etsy knows the value of emails, and they know the value of all these customers, so they don't let you do it. So that's a huge, huge part of running any t-shirt store. In fact, if you're running your own t-shirt store online, you could literally lose money on the front end just getting that person as a customer, and then have them buy multiple times from you in the future, so the lifetime customer value is high. And that lifetime customer value, Etsy knows what it is for all of Etsy's customers. They're not your customers, they're Etsy's customers. So Etsy knows that. So that's why they cut off all these email integrations, because they did not want you emailing their customers. That's huge, like big time. The other thing is, running Etsy ads would put this into the negatives. So if this store is going to try and run Etsy ads, there's no way they can get a sale for $2.11. No way. It'll be more like $10, $15, $20 per sale, which is going to put this store into the negative. So I think what I'm using this as, and I don't mean to pick on this store, but I think I'm using it as something that it looks great on the surface, but when you dig underneath and you start looking at all the numbers and the way that Etsy operates, it could actually be operating at a very, very slim margin, or no margin at all, because they can't control any of the traffic to it. So if you were to open up an Etsy t-shirt store and do what they did, because you thought, well, they're doing really well, they took off really fast, they're getting a lot of sales. Yes, but are they making any money at the end of the day? And the answer is maybe, but not very much. Compared to if you took a store like this with the same amount of effort, the same amount of experience, the same amount of creativity, and created your own store where you owned the customer email list and where you could actually run ads to it, and you could run ads and get sales at a loss. And the other thing is, I'm going to put this as the number one problem. It's a race to the bottom for pricing. What they're doing here, even $20.43 or whatever it was for a medium t-shirt is low. Now that's low on a marketplace. You could sell that for $26.99. You could charge off Etsy. You could do that. And that alone would bring up your margins and give you enough wiggle room to run some good ads. The main point is this. When you control your traffic, you control your destiny. So what I mean is, traffic is the lifeblood of your business, and email marketing is the thing that makes you profitable. So if you have traffic running that you can control, you can turn it up or down at your whim, it's going to be a lot better than you having no control over it. So when you list on Etsy, you have no control over anything. You're just, I know they say you have your own shop on Etsy. You don't. You're an Etsy listing provider is what you are. You're building their brand for them instead of building your own. So the last thing is this. You cannot sell your store ever, period. That means if this store got up to like 100,000 sales, and then they decided, you know what, I love it, but I want to sell it because I want a big influx of cash. You can't do that on Etsy. It's actually against their terms of service to sell it, because Etsy knows if you sell it, the new person coming in might change up some of the listings, and then they wouldn't make as much money. So this is why Etsy is a strange place. It really advertises itself one way, but at the end of the day, it's not what they promise at all. So they promise that you don't have to do any of your own marketing, which generates a ton of interest because people are like, yeah, I'm just creative. I just want to list my products and that's it. And let them, they tell me they have like 93 million buyers. So they're going to send me those buyers and then I don't have to do a thing. But when you do that, the trade-off is huge. The biggest, another problem here is the time spent here could have been used to build their own brand, not Etsy's brand. That's huge. Okay, so I'm using this as an example of something that is successful on the surface. I mean, underneath, I don't know what the actual numbers are. I imagine they're close to what I showed here based on my experience. I could be wrong. It's happened before. But what I'm saying is, if you want to start your own, you're better off starting your own. You don't go to a marketplace to do it. Don't go to Amazon Merch by Amazon, sorry. Don't go to Etsy and start a t-shirt shop. Don't go to Redbubble. Don't go to Zazzle. Don't go to whatever else is out there. Because when you do that, you lose so much of the things that you need to profit. It's just not fair. All right, I'm going to close with that. Again, I congratulate the shop owner. They did a fantastic job. They're putting in a lot of hard work. I feel like they could make a lot more if they got off there and went to their own brand, especially with obviously they know what they're doing and making their designs. They are getting sales. And when you have that skill alone, when you go out on your own to your own store, say a Shopify store, and you start running your own traffic, say like Facebook ads or Google ads or Microsoft ads or TikTok ads or whatever it may be, you can just make so much more. And you could be so much happier because you're not paying Etsy a fortune in fees. All right. Anyhow, I'll close with that. That's my review. If you have any questions, let me know. Have a great day.